diversity visa lottery selection process. How do they select the winners? How the process goes from applying and then selecting who becomes the winner and who is not going to be the winner in the green card lottery application process. When you apply for the green card lottery, first and foremost, you go through the first filter. The first filter will be, there are mistakes which you do, those mistakes will make you removed from going to the selection process. Assume this is the place where they are doing selection, but before you go to this area of selection, you have to pass it, step number one. Step number one will be, have you applied it 2 times, more than once, because you're supposed to apply once. If you apply 2 times, they eliminate you. You don't go to the selection. Number 2, the photo. Have you done any mistakes of the photo that you say you are not supposed to do? Have you white background? You didn't wear glasses. You don't have shadow. You didn't have this. You didn't look at that. They take all those kind of things, and then if you are good to go, you go to the phase where they are going to do now the selection. Once you go to the selection process is divided into 6 geographical regions. Each region is assigned a certain percentage. And when I say region, I mean Africa is one region, Asia is another region, Oceania is another region, Europe is another region, something like that. So in each region, one country cannot exceed the total winning of 7%. Meaning, in my knowledge, there is no a country which will exceed 6,005 or 7, whatever, because I've seen my maximum number of winners is 6,005, 7 going around there. I've never seen maybe 6,500. I've never seen one country with all those winners. So once they put those region, and each region has a certain number as a maximum, Africa is the region with the higher number of winners and the higher number of people given the visas. Almost 45% of winners and 45% of people who are receiving the visas are from Africa. Why? Because they have so fewer in America than people from Europe. So for that particular case, they make a draw based on the region. So while they are doing that, they don't care whether you live in US, whether you live in Qatar, whether you live in Sweden, whether you live in England, whether you live in Canada. It doesn't matter where you live. As long as your country of birth was Tanzania, was Kenya, was Uganda, was Malawi, was Ghana, was whatever, as long as you are from Africa, you are in the Africa region. That's why we usually say where you live doesn't matter. Your level of education doesn't matter in the selection. You'll be put in the Africa region. Then the computer is doing a random selection process. Once they do the random selection process in the computer, then they're going to take the winners. So those winners, obviously, the countries with the more number of applicants will have more winners than the countries with the low number of applicants. Practical example, Tanzania, they had, for instance, 5,000 applicants in the year DV 2021 going to 2022. While at the same time, Kenya had almost 300,000 applicants. So Tanzania ended up having 190 winners, while Kenya had almost 3,000 winners. So the number of winners, the higher the number, partly is because of the higher the number of applicants. That's why we usually encourage many people to apply, because that country with more people, you increase more chance of winners from that country than the countries which have low number of applicants. Simple would be like, let me give you an example. You have, let's say, a ball or a basket. In that basket, you have maybe five pieces of paper which are white. You have 20 pieces of paper which are red. You have 200 pieces of paper which are green. The chance of you are supposed to take 10 pieces of paper. If you mix them, the chance of taking the 200 green papers will be higher than those 5 white or red, 10, whatever it is. So the higher number of applicants in that country, the higher chances of winning from that country. So don't apply and just keep quiet. Share the information with other colleagues, because if God wants you to win, you will win no matter how many millions people are going to apply. The chance in Africa for one person to win is 1 in 154 applicants. One African is going to win. But again, if you go to a country by country, depending on the number of applicants in that country in relation to the number of winners in that country, you find out that the number, the ratio usually is 1 in 50 or to 70 number of applicants. So country by country, the ratio is small, like in every 50 people, in every 75 people, a person, one is going to be the winner. But if you look as Africa in general, 1 in 154 applicants, you are going to get one winner, and that is how the process works.